Hi, it's Gerry, and welcome to day 120 of A Course in Miracles. Today we review lesson 109 and 110. And it's kind of significant that we're reviewing lesson 109 today because in many ways it summarizes the change I've noticed in myself since this course began. Lesson 109 says, I rest in God. I rest in God today and let God work in me and through me, while I rest in God in quiet and perfect certainty. And I've noticed that since, before I did this course, I had deep within me sort of a worry, is this getting to anybody? Is this getting me further along with where I want to go? I want to be able to reach millions of people with a positive message to try and change the world in positive ways. And, am I going to be able to do that? Now I don't worry about it. I just develop myself to be the best person I can be, which is really what this course is doing. It's drawing out so much good in me and giving me such a deep sense of peace. And that's really it. I know that things are going to turn out the way that they're supposed to turn out. They are going to turn out the way God wants them to turn out. What do I need to do? I need to be the best person that I can be. I need to consistently do what I know that I need to do, and I need to just let the rest be in God's hand. And that's a beautiful thing. That gives me such a wonderful peace, just a very stable confidence, I guess I could call it. Just knowing. It's just a knowing. That's really what it is. So, like I say, that's the biggest thing I've noticed in me. It's not something, I don't know if anybody can see that on the outside, but I certainly feel it deep within my gut. I just know. The second lesson is lesson 110, which was also really beautiful. I am as God created me. And the reflection said, I am God's child. Today I lay aside all sick illusions of myself and let my Father tell me who I really am. This reminds me of an assignment I have my students do. We're doing the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, and one of the lessons, one of the preliminary lessons, is to look at ourselves, to develop what they call the personal bank account. And one of the ways we develop our personal bank account, we develop ourselves and feel better about ourselves, as we should feel good about ourselves, by the way, but develop better feelings about ourselves, is to be good to ourselves, be gentle with ourselves. And I showed my class a TED Talk by Nick Vujicic. If you've ever seen him before, he's got no arms and no legs and the most amazing, beautiful spirit. And he tells people that, he dealt with a lot of those lies, people telling him, you're not good enough. How are you ever going to make a living for your family? How are you going to be a father if you can't hold your children? How are you going to be a husband, etc., etc.? And he heard all those negative messages, and he realized that he was so much more than his limitations. He's Nick. He's a man with a mission. He is a sacred child of God. And so I show him this TED Talk, and he addresses a lot of those feelings he had about himself, which are all lies. They are all lies. And the negative messages we give to ourselves that we're not beautiful, we're not amazing, that we can't achieve our dreams, those are all lies as well. But what is the truth? And here's what Nick said. And these are beautiful. And I tell the kids to, listen to your negative messages that you say to yourself. Just be mindful of them. Don't criticize yourself because you say them. Just be mindful that you say them, and then replace them with the truth. And what is the truth? And these are from Nick Vujicic, but they're the universal truths. I am beautiful. I have value. I am lovable. I have a purpose. And I can become someone's miracle. Nick said, he prayed for a miracle, that he'd have arms and legs. But he realized that he could become someone's miracle. And he certainly has. He's been a miracle to millions of people all around the world. Maybe he will get his miracle one day. He said he's got a pair of shoes in his closet. But really, and he's open to that happening. That ties in with that first message. But he's realized too that he can become someone's miracle. And you too, dear listener, dear viewer, you are a miracle. And be the beautiful person you are. Be the gift that you are to the world. And embrace that. Embrace that truth. And don't worry about the details. Trust in God. Be who you are. Until tomorrow, may God bless you abundantly. May God give you the peace that only can come from God. And we'll talk more tomorrow.